Hi everyone, welcome back to Spill the Tea. I'm your host Megan, and I'm here joined with
Sai,
Ralph,
Malin.
And today on Spill the Tea, we're going to be talking a little bit about diet culture, healthy habits, and kind of our idea of what healthy eating in our life looks like. So does anyone particularly have any special diet, quote unquote, or restrictions to their life that they like to incorporate?
I do not believe in restrictive dieting.
Period.
that's it. That's you guys. That's the episode. We are done. Thanks, guys.
And why is that, Malin?
I just don't think it's very helpful to restrict yourself because I think I've just seen lots of examples of when you deprive your body of one thing, your body just kind of craves that even more. So then it almost defeats the purpose of you depriving yourself of that one thing versus just being able to sometimes have it in your diet.
Self-control.
Yeah, self-control. Have it in
portion control.
Moderation.
Yeah, versus just cutting it out completely. And so for me, in terms of how I think about food and my diet, I think of it of intuitive eating, what feels good to me in my body and listening to my body a bit on what I need. And if I'm craving something, then sure, I'll have it. I just won't have an excessive amount of it.
Yeah.
If you're going to have ice cream, have the ice cream, enjoy it. But are you going to have 10 tubs? Yeah. Are you going to have 2 tubs in a sitting? Probably not a good idea.
No, I think that's where people struggle the most with eating, just because food brings serotonin to your body and it just feels so good that in the moment I think people don't realize that what they're consuming will affect them down the line. And so it just repeats and repeats and repeats until you look at yourself and you're I'm regretful or I shouldn't have done this. But you can't take back those things that I don't know. You've decided to make bad decisions in the past. So then they try to go fix it with the restrictive dieting. But in the back of their mind, they're oh my God, I wish I could eat all these terrible / good things again. Da, 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 da. And so, yeah, then it's not sustainable. And then you just go into the cycle of crash diet. And, you're just stuck and mentally don't feel well.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it's important to really look at why it is you want a diet if you are trying a new diet, because there's diets an elimination diet, right? For example, those are useful for people who are having some health issues in the current present moment. And maybe they have food sensitivities or allergies that they need to pinpoint, or maybe a health issue that they need to figure out. So then those elimination diet helps pinpoint what's causing those or helps the body kind of resets itself. So some of those diets I feel are helpful and can be useful, but they're not long-term. I don't think you're going to have an elimination diet for a year long. I don't know if that really makes sense. I could be wrong, but I don't think that is actually really healthy for you.
Yeah.
Have you ever done any diets, Ralph?
I wouldn't say diets. So I look at it sustainability, right? Is it sustainable? I have done some stuff where it's okay, I'm going to try to cut out as much sugar as I can for about a week just to trim down. Or I'm going to cut out carbs for a week just to trim down. But it's usually within a time frame because I know I am never, ever going to cut out sugar. I'm never, ever going to cut out carbs completely. It's just I'm going to do it just for a short amount of time, just to kind of almost a cleanse and then restart. Because here's the thing too, I know when I cut sugar for a while, and it was literally maybe a week, when I brought sugar back into my diet, things tasted a lot sweeter. So I didn't need as much sugar.
Your tolerance was
exactly
down.
Right. So now instead of putting a lot of sugar on whatever my coffee, it was barely any, and it was oh, this is actually really good.
Yeah. And you probably didn't crave it.
No,
as
I didn't.
Much.
Yep.
Yeah.
For that week, I definitely did. And here's the thing too, when we do those oh, I'm not gonna have this. We're like kids, right?
Yeah.
What happens when you tell a kid, hey, don't touch that because it's hot? Even though you tell them it's hot. Well,
Intrusive thoughts want to take over.
Exactly. Whenever you tell somebody or anybody don't do something, hey, don't think of a pink elephant. everybody right now just thought of a pink
Y'all
elephant.
know what I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, so it's like for us to not think about something, we have to think about not thinking about it.
Yeah.
So it has to come to our mind. So if we say, "Oh, I'm not going to have any sugar," well, the only thing in your mind is sugar. Sugar, and then of course you start that craving and wanting it. So like, yes, I have done diets, temporary ones, just to kind of reset myself.
Yeah, resetting, detoxing, whatever it is, but it was for a purpose, and there's a timeline.
I did a water fasting too, like 24-hour fast, just water. It shrank my stomach. Like it didn't take me much to really eat, like to get full after that.
After just doing it for
24 hours, 24 hours, nothing but water. I had to do it and make sure I didn't come to work because I was going to be real hangry.
Oh, he was
really hangry. Oh, yeah. But yeah, after I started integrating food again the next day after 24 hours, it didn't take me much to get full. I was a little bit more conscious about what I ate because I would get full so much faster. It's like, okay, I want to make sure I get good nutrients and stuff. So it was a good reset. So I look at diets as more of a reset. So it has to be a short period of time for me.
I think so. And I think like the way we eat has a lot to do with habits, right?
Yeah.
So like the way habits are formed, what our daily habits are. If you're going to add or eliminate anything, how do you break a bad habit? How do you add a habit? And so when I think of food and dieting, I think a lot about like, what are my daily habits too? And how does that affect my habits? Because if, for example, like if I do want to cut down on sugar, which I have a lot, even though we work at a bubble tea place, I have cut down on sugar like tremendously. And then when I do choose to have sugar, I do enjoy it.
Our boba is so good.
I choose to enjoy it. Like I feel like because I've chosen not to have as much sugar, when I do choose to have it, I enjoy it that much more.
Yeah,
that's true.
You don't take it for granted.
Yeah, I don't take it for granted. But also I think about like, like how can I make this sustainable for me in my daily habits? And I think for me, focused on the alternative. Like what is the alternative to having sugar, or what is the alternative to whatever diet, healthy habit that I want to form? So if I'm trying to avoid something, what can I go towards and focus on that instead of what I'm depriving myself of or what I'm not having, and make the focus on what is it that I am having that is good for me. So like if sugar is the thing that's not good for me, then what are the drinks and foods that I can have that still quenches my thirst or like satisfy my like hunger, you know, that still feels good for me and that still tastes good for me, right? Like maybe it's having more fresh fruits because fruits are sweet, you know,
natural sugars.
Yeah, like more natural sugars, or you know. So like, what's the alternative that's better for me? Yeah, that achieves what my goals are.
Just definitely like healthy swaps too. Like that can like be essential because like I remember when I first started at Pochi's, like I love like a green apple milk tea, all right, with green apple jelly. I had that almost every single day, and I joke you not, all right, I gained like 5 pounds off of that in like a month, and I was like, oh, it's because I'm drinking this every single day. So then I told myself, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna have boba every day. I'm gonna have boba like twice a week, and then it went away, and I was like, okay. So I was just screwing with myself the entire time. But then, yeah, like you said, it made it like that much more special. I was like, okay, today I get my little treat, you know.
You look forward to it.
Yeah, then you look forward to it and don't gain 5 pounds from it. So like, you know, that's the plus side. Or like, even if you want to like slowly like incorporate like healthier habits, like you could even do like, oh, like reduce your sugar just a little bit. Maybe don't add like a topping today, or, you know, like sometimes it is also about like just the aesthetic of it as well. Like I know a lot of people that get Starbucks and stuff, like it's really about just like having like a drink in their hand, like having to sip
driving
on
there,
driving there, like So like instead of getting like your frappuccino for the day or something, like maybe giving it like a healthier swap, but it's still in the Starbucks cup. Like you can still
get
sip
a water
out of
from
it.
Starbucks.
You know, yeah, like something like that too. Like it's super mental, just connection. You
That's
know,
actually what I did to cut down on caffeine.
really.
Yeah. No, yeah. I get Starbucks every morning, right? And caffeine and coffee started giving me like a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And so I needed to cut down on caffeine essentially. But Starbucks is such a routine for me. And it is one of those things, the act of actually going to Starbucks to get it was the thing that did it for me. Like I like going out
Satisfying.
to get the drink. So even sometimes when I don't even really want the drink, I still get it.
Yeah,
It's really weird. But that's part of like my almost like waking up morning routine that like makes me happy. So I stick with it. And so instead of like having my usual coffee that's loaded up with a ton of sugar and a lot of caffeine, I went with like a chai tea latte or something that has less caffeine, still has sugar. So
You didn't eliminate everything.
Yeah, I didn't
Baby
eliminate
steps.
everything, but it was a step down from the caffeine from coffee.
Yeah, I feel like that's why a lot of diets fail is people try to go to the extreme too fast. And making like that rough transition is just like,
and it's really hard.
it's setting
The
yourself
all or
up for
nothing
failure.
type of
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you can only really do it if you have like really good self-discipline.
Yeah.
But
Cold turkey is not
no
for the faint of heart
no.
for anything.
It's really hard. Difficult. Very
It's rough.
difficult.
Oh, you, Sai? Have you had any diet? Have you gone through any diets yourself?
not really. I mean, I feel like the only thing like diet related is I never eat breakfast. So I feel like there's like 13 hours of the day where I just don't eat every day.
I have that same problem. Like,
yeah.
I'll wake up.
But some scientists have said that that's like
So
good.
you're just fasting.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually do eat breakfast. Like I'll eat breakfast like before I leave for school, but then that's at like it's like say 8:00, and then I'll forget to quote unquote forget to pack a lunch or like pack a snack. So then I go my entire day until like 6 p.m. when I get home to have my next meal, which still happens to this day. And then once I eat, I feel like crap because I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
And I was so hungry that I ate so fast that I was like, oh my God, like,
You just shocked your stomach.
yeah. Like, then the cycle repeats the next day and the next day. So then, like, it's not even like an intermittent fast at that point. It's just like, God, how many hours is that for like a 10-hour like fast in the middle of your day? Like, I don't know, especially when you need like sugar or like glucose the most to like stay awake. And then I'll doze off in class and then get a coffee and be like, this is my lunch. But, you know, it's not a good habit.
Because
Still
that's where you
doing
get
it,
the
though.
sugar crash.
Yeah, seriously. Working on that one.
I feel like with caffeine, I've gotten to a point where like it doesn't even drinking a Red Bull doesn't wake me up.
Right? Seriously.
And it would have to be like multiple shots. It would be like cold brew that does it. But like
I love a triple
Red Bull.
espresso.
I just go get Red Bulls for fun.
Oh,
like we
gosh.
were saying.
I know. I don't think Red Bulls do anything for me either. Like, it's seriously
Do
just
they
for
do
the
anything for
taste.
you
I
guys?
can't relate because any caffeine, literally,
Really?
I feel I'm so sensitive to caffeine now. I used to be the same way in college, but I don't know if it's because now that I'm more conscious of what I eat and more aware of what I put into my body, and I've made the changes of incorporating healthier foods, like more whole foods, more like real foods, not like super processed foods or like junk food or fast food. So now that I have quote unquote like healthier diet for me at least, and I notice a lot of those things a lot more. I'm more sensitive to caffeine. I notice when I'm more sensitive to caffeine is when I have a good night's sleep. Like when I don't need caffeine and I drink something with caffeine, I'm even more sensitive to it. But if I'm running off of like an hour of sleep, then the caffeine is useful for me in that sense. And I don't get like anxiety and the jitters from that when I actually need the caffeine.
Yeah, I hate the way caffeine makes me feel sometimes. Like on an empty stomach and you drink a lot, just makes you feel like anxious or like so jittery. I don't know, it's the worst. But
Honestly, my tolerance is so high these days that like I've seriously scared myself into thinking thinking I had ADHD or something. Because like,
Oh my god.
because the Adderall, like, I don't know if it's caffeine or something, but like it stimulates your brain to like, I don't know, focus and like kind of go on overdrive. And I was like, the caffeine's not working on me, so do I have ADHD? I'm like, I don't think I do, but I still don't think I do.
Okay,
but-
ADHD is actually highly like it's not as diagnosed in women.
Really?
Yes, it's underdiagnosed in women because all of the studies in the past have been on men because women have hormones. So there's that. That fluctuates.
Yeah, because
Yep.
if anything, like sometimes I'll have like a triple shot of caffeine, and then in my next class I'll like be asleep. So I'm like, why did that happen? You know, like shouldn't I be like off my rocker, like energized right now? But like I don't know, it really doesn't.
I didn't know that like corresponds.
Yeah, because if you
Maybe
take
get tested.
Adderall, like if you actually do have ADHD, then you're like normal. I don't know, but if like you don't have ADHD, then you're like, oh my god, like, wired.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't know. That's why I got scared. I'm not getting tested though, guys. No.
I don't know. It's crazy how everything like connects. Food, mental health,
Oh, seriously.
physical health. Like it's crazy.
I think like another thing with like bad diets too is like a matter of convenience for people.
Oh,
Like it's so easy to like, oh, I'm so busy, I'm gonna go through the drive-through really quick and get like a burger, blah blah blah. But I think it just really comes down to like your priorities. Like people don't prioritize like making good food for the week or like meal prepping or like taking the time to plan out like recipes, but instead they'd rather sit on their phone or like sit on the couch and you know, like it's not something that's important to them. So
But
then
I can
they
relate
complain
to that.
about
It is cheaper to get junk food
and
than to go
money-wise.
get healthy food.
Yeah, and that too. More cost
Kind
effective.
of though, because sometimes like if you go, fast food is not that cheap anymore.
Seriously.
And if
Right.
you
No, it's
go,
not.
if you're eating fast food, ordering food on Uber or whatever for like every meal every day,
Oh, it
rather than
adds
going
up.
and buying like a big thing of chicken breasts and
Mhm.
broccoli and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like you would save a lot
It's
more
that
money.
time and the effort that you
Yeah.
save by doing
Yeah.
junk food.
I
And
feel like you just
Exactly.
have to like enjoy, like find joy in like prepping it for yourself.
That's what I've been trying to do too. Like I've really enjoyed like learning to cook.
Light a
and, you know,
candle,
yeah,
turn
like
on
have
some
a glass
music,
of wine.
have a glass
You
of
know,
wine.
no, it's
Cook your-
awesome. You know,
Yeah.
something
I-
really to look forward to.
I like to cook, but I have like spurts and moments where I do like to cook. And if I do cook, I go all out. It's like a full like
really
from
like I'm building this from
literally
scratch.
Mhm.
literally every little thing is from scratch. The sauce, the sides, the actual main dish, whatever it is, it's
Mhm.
literally from scratch. Like
A
I
chef.
will
Yeah.
make everything from scratch. So I only cook very few times because the times that I do cook, I like to cook full on meals and like
Mhm.
it's very elaborate, and we don't always have the time for that because we are busy.
Yeah.
So I do relate to the fact that like, you know, it can be easier to just order food or get
Mhm.
takeout.
Yeah.
And so I know what Ralph and I have done a bit better recently when we do go out to eat or have takeout or order food from restaurants is we will opt for a healthier option than we would normally
Mhm.
do.
Mhm.
We will opt in for something that has like vegetables, protein, and kind of like, did you guys know the order of which you eat food matters too?
Really?
In terms, it affects your blood sugar level.
What's the correct order?
Yeah.
You eat your vegetables first because of the fiber that lines kind of like your stomach.
Mhm.
And plus, it also helps with what your body absorbs first, right? So you absorb all the nutrients, the phytonutrients, and from your greens, from your vegetables first,
Mhm.
and then I think it's protein,
And then carbs.
and then carbs
Yep.
last.
I mean,
Carbs and sugar.
I kind of grew up doing that too. Like
Yeah.
my mom, I mean, that was just my mom's way of being like, you better not be full off of like the carby stuff
Yes,
before
yeah.
you eat your vegetables. So she'd force us to eat the salad first.
Mm.
She's like, can't have the rest of the meal until you eat the salad, and then you can have everything else.
Mhm.
but
I would
you better
always eat
yeah,
what I
finish it.
would always eat like as a kid what I like least first and then save the best.
Oh,
for
seriously.
last.
It's like a treat. Yeah. I mean, that's like a good mindset to have too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, get it out of the way. But
Mhm.
I forgot. It was vegetables and fats first. So like your healthy fats like avocados or and then the protein and then carbs last.
Mm. Yeah, that's very interesting. I've never heard of that.
neither. I
was like, goes to the same place.
My mom's approach is like different from my dad's approach because like he comes from an Italian family and like the order of like an Italian meal, like you eat like the salad last. So
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, but
Kind of makes sense, like palate cleanser.
yeah,
maybe.
so it's just like an ending, but then you get full. And then you're like, oh, I can't eat that much salad. Like I had so much lasagna or pasta or whatever. Like I'm so full now, I can't eat it.
Did I just hear her Italian accent?
Yeah, right. That
I
came
don't
out
have
a
an
little bit.
Italian accent, guys.
You did right
A
there.
little
I
bit
know.
Italian came out.
The Italians, they're thick people. I don't know. They like to eat. So
Okay, there's have you heard of people like going to Europe and having all the food that they want in Europe? And
Yeah, it's so
they
much-
feel fine.
Yeah.
And then they eat the same thing here and they feel sick.
or they even lose like a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go to
over
Europe.
there.
And you don't have to like be careful about what you're eating. So like the
So
question also
weird.
comes to kind of like how our food is processed here in the States too.
Oh, seriously.
Like,
the
how is it
FDA like
yeah.
really approves a lot of stuff that maybe shouldn't be in our bodies, you know?
There's like the Cheetos are like banned in,
yeah, seriously.
something.
or
like-
a lot of the dyes or artificial
Yeah.
colorings and
or
stuff.
like you literally can't get it other places
Yeah.
besides the US, which is pretty scary.
Well, what worries me right now as far as food goes, and this is on topic, off topic. Bill Gates is now the biggest farmland owner in the US.
really?
Really?
He
Really?
bought up a bunch of farmland. So why is a tech
What made him do that?
why is a tech guy getting into farming? That worries me.
Has he spoke on that you know of?
No.
It's
That
so
scares me to
weird.
think like things are getting monopolized like really
Mhm.
quickly. God.
They're already
Yep.
monopolized.
And
but
what
then
kind
you
of
get even
food
more
are they going to be
monopolized.
making now? Like
Yeah.
most of our food's going to be
AI
coming
food.
from land from
Eat
Bill
children.
Gates. Yep. If you guys didn't hear the episode of our AI conversation, make sure you click on that. And
AI greens.
AI greens, AI
are
grown
the
food.
Yeah, AI are the ones who are
Oh,
farming our
God,
food.
if we're eating AI and it's like restructuring our internal.
AI is like a new like
You're like, whoa,
Work
a
point.
fact just popped up in my head. Like, how?
from the spinach.
Yeah.
Popeye.
Well,
Is that
fact,
Popeye?
but what if you're
Yes.
getting brainwashed?
Oh, shoot.
Oh,
What's my name? Like
exactly.
that?
It's like, who am I? What do I do?
That is scary.
You know,
Scary.
I like the part of the conversation where it was about real food.
Yeah.
could we rewind this
Yeah, but
conversation?
well, that's the thing. It's about real food, but like, kind of going back to the real food. Is it going to be real food much longer? Because
Well, half of our food isn't even real food. 70% of like the American diet right now is all processed foods. If you compared,
Yeah.
I think there was pictures going around comparing the school lunches of every like country.
Yes. I
Have you guys
saw
seen that?
Yeah.
And like everyone, there was so much like healthier foods.
There's
Very
actual
balanced.
fruits
Yes.
Yeah.
and-
And then you saw the American.
It's like, what was it?
It's like
I
plastic
forgot.
cheese.
yeah, there's
on a
there's no
frickin-
such thing as a
quote-unquote chicken burger.
non-GMO banana
Yeah, well, because they
because bananas
bred
have been so genetically modified to only have so you can
Okay.
consume the seeds.
Mm.
Bananas used to have seeds in them that you couldn't just eat.
Was it you guys that I told that banana flavored things are
yes,
are
you
different
did.
now because
Mhm.
they taste like old bananas?
The banana flavoring is the original banana
Mhm.
flavor, but the banana that we have now isn't the actual banana flavor.
That's why the banana flavors
what?
are so,
So
different.
A banana Laffy Taffy is what a banana
that tastes like an old banana,
Like the-
old
like
version
the
of
OG,
a banana.
A real banana, yeah.
before modifications.
Yeah.
I hate banana flavored stuff.
I'm glad that they changed to the bananas.
Seriously, I like regular
Me
bananas.
too. Okay, that's
So would you
That's a
guys
good thing.
consider GM or like genetically modified foods real foods then? Like you're eating apples that are genetically modified or
Watermelons
Yeah.
are genetically
Even-
modified too.
even like lab grown meat is becoming like a thing these days.
Oh yeah, like printed meat.
printed.
Yeah,
what does that mean?
How is
3D printed?
How
3D
is that
printed
even
meat.
You're
edible?
kidding.
yeah.
What's the material?
I don't
that
know, but
is
it's supposed to be
used for
vegan
that?
meat.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, I've seen like Beyond Burger and like Impossible Burgers and stuff like that. But
I thought
that's
that was
like
made from plant.
yeah, that's made from like
Like,
soy
plant
and like
protein.
stuff like that.
3D printed.
But how processed
3D
are those kind of
printer.
like alternative
Super
meats?
processed.
Are they really
don't
better
know.
for you?
Yeah,
Well,
that's what my question.
I
Probably
can
better
see
than,
that
like, a
as like an
McDonald's
alternative to like
nugget.
global warming and like how cows like set off a
Fart?
lot of emissions. Yeah, like through their farts.
Yeah.
So like without the use of like this mass like farming industry, like I feel like these modified foods could save in that respect, but like
As
being
far
put in our
as-
bodies, like I don't know about that. So
I know.
everything's
And,
a
like,
give and take.
What big difference does it make in the long run?
They could make like a 3D printed A5 Wagyu, you know? Imagine
The
how
3D
little that would
printed thing
cost.
threw me off. Like, I don't understand how that would work. Who ate that and who decided to
I don't
do
know,
it?
but I remember seeing a video on it. 3D printed meat. They even make it look like Wagyu beef.
Watch out for our next episode, guys. Eating 3D printed meat review.
I don't-
Oh,
Seriously.
that would be interesting.
Uh,
That'd be really
can
scary.
I opt out?
Until our next episode, guys.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Well,
Bye.
I think that is our conversation for the day. That was fun.
Oh my gosh. So many things.
Could talk about this forever, honestly.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.